And it's just so amusing that it's, the name of our England football team, the women are called the Lionesses, aren't they? And they roar, and the children love to roar. I love doing that with my grandchildren when their emotions are they're overcome by emotions and you don't know what to do with it, doing what we call the lion breath, where they do a deep breath and then they exhale with their tongue out and roar, and then they laugh. It's like, okay, so it's serious, but it's fun. So maybe that's what we should all be doing more of, releasing those emotions and just going out there and saying, courage comes from within. I'll find another, and together, with another and another, we will gather that momentum and we will go out there and we will help care for the people who are helping the people. Helping people who are out there looking to earn a living by working within the integrative health field, because they also have a knowing that there's an energy out there that they're here to help and support with. Helping the parents find their way, because they're often having to work quite hard to pay for their life. And the children who hold the keys, we hear them as well. Let's roar. Yeah, and move out of the intellect and the ego into the playfulness that the child exhibits most of the time. Be the child. And then with the lion roar, the lion breath, more often than not, it causes laughter. And then that breath and that laughter stimulates the vagus nerve, which then moves us from fight, flight into rest and digest. And then it's like, okay, calm starts to come back into the being. Yeah. So when there's chaos out there, or there's chaos in here, these simple practices, to be able to do them again and again, we say it's about taking meditation off the mat, and the mindfulness movement now is very much, particularly for the young adults, is that there isn't time to sit on the mat, and teaching mindful practice is in activity. Making a cup of tea and being very present to making that cup of tea, walking and feeling your feet on the floor as you walk, where your attention goes, eating with the awareness of the food in your mouth and the sensations. This is really, I do believe, the future of how mindfulness will develop. After the lockdown, when we were allowed out, there was the tentativeness of actually going out again for a lot of people. And as for travelling very far, priorities changed, as my priorities changed, of being more present to myself, more present to my family and my growing grandchildren's, who I've now got 4 little ones under 8, being conscious to their consciousness and being part of that has been such a joy. Knowing that I enter into their world with them, so they're teaching me about dragons and fairies, and I love it, and crystals and rainbows and unicorns and Pegasuses and all sorts. It's like, I love this world. So I've been able to let go of the seriousness and the responsibility of needing to constantly organise events, and being going, okay, so this is seeing something from a consciousness perspective of growing young ones, and then being very aware of the difficulties of the older children and the consequences of the trauma that they experienced through what they witnessed on the television and the constant media feed. So being even more compassionate to our children and how they can be empowered and have their voices heard really important because we're building a future, but we're not building a future for them. They must build a future for them, and we don't know what they need or want. So that's really what's happened over the last few years with the empowering of the child's voice, and the child being in the ear term, but also the inner child, that one that's emerging through us all, of being, let's be very kind and considerate to this growing awareness. And then the children out there who are living the life of a lot in anxiety, climate anxiety, social anxiety, that's real. So let's come together in circles and let's share that reality and help them dispel that. That's really what's happened over the... I didn't realise that's what's happened, but that is what has happened. Yeah, coming back to living in our communities well, with that sense of aliveness and love. It's great.